Hello, welcome back, and in today's short video I thought I would answer the question that people may be wanting to ask me, and that is, how do I sleep at night as an INFP personality type? That is, how do I get a full night's sleep with the knowledge that I'm an INFP, that out of all of the 16 personality types, I just happen to be the worst one. Now I have to confess straight away that I have been sleeping pretty well over the last year, maybe the last 2 years in fact. I tend to, it always takes me a little while to drift off, but I do tend to get a full night's sleep and wake up feeling fairly refreshed, especially since I'm unemployed and I don't have to rush off to work. Now, obviously a lot of people who watch my videos are INFPs themselves, and I'm not saying that if you're an INFP who doesn't get a full night's sleep, that it's because you're a bad person. In fact, I don't think that at all. I think INFPs naturally have quite a strong inner monologue that can make it a little bit hard to sleep at night. And there's just a bit of an unfortunate idea out there that if you can't sleep at night, it's because you're a bad person. But I have been feeling quite unsettled as of late at the ease in which I seem to be able to get a full night's sleep. It takes me about an hour sometimes to actually drift off because I've got, as I said, quite a loud inner monologue. But I seem to be able to get a full night's sleep, and I might wake up in the middle of the night, but it's very rarely that I'm screaming or crying when I realize that I'm an INFP. Now, obviously, I've been aware that I've been an INFP for the last 8 years, but I think even deep down before I knew or was aware of MBTI, I sort of knew that I was a certain type. And I also knew that this type is inherently evil and flawed. Now, I suppose that one of the reasons I seem to be able to sleep quite well at night, despite appearing like someone who shouldn't, is because I do have a lot of very nice friends, and I'm not sure if it's just because I've got stronger boundaries or what it was, or if, as I said, like 3 or 4 years ago, things just got so bad that I came up with a new philosophy of filling up my life with positive people. And when I say positive people, I don't mean like Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. I mean deep, empathetic, considerate people who are funny and intelligent. And actually, just to be clear, like having this YouTube channel, especially in the last, let's say 2 years, like the input that I actually get from people subscribed to me or not subscribed, but I get so many nice comments and insightful comments and just very perceptive comments. It actually creates very good, let's call it juju. I get good juju from the people who leave comments on my videos here. And I think actually that helps me sleep at night as well. Whereas I think there was a point in my life where I didn't have many friends at all. And the good people that I did know, I was too nervous to reach out to. Like even David, who you've seen on this channel, the INFP, I think for the first year or two, he would invite me to events and I would just not turn up because I was too nervous. And part of that is I think I had, let's use that word again, bad juju. And I knew that he had good juju, like I got a good vibe from him. One example after that would be just when the lockdowns happened here, I started getting my hair cut from this German INFP hairdresser, and she had like this wonderful INFP juju. And I know that I had a bit of bad juju, but as the years went on and I kept having haircuts with her, I became a less agitated person. I started feeling more comfortable in my own skin. And I think sometimes interacting with other INFPs, if they're good INFPs, they just actually reinforce and strengthen you because you're watching a bit of a reflection of yourself. And INFPs are probably the best type to learn from. Like whatever your type is, if you can find a good version of your type, they're probably the best person to sometimes mimic or learn from. And even when there's been INFPs who did have very bad juju, I sort of don't really talk to them anymore. And anyway, just to try and make sense of this video in some sense, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But when I was in my 20s, I had a lot of friends who I kind of had to distance myself from. And I used to have the worst night, like just being friends with them, especially when things got tense. Or even sometimes when I just knew that the friendship was over, I just couldn't sleep at night. I would be like so angry all night, my teeth, I'd be grinding my teeth all the time. I would be in a very bad state. And at that time, things were so bleak and I really had to not only distance myself from them, but leave the country, go and live in Japan, come back and do all of these different things. But I think it's really at the end of 2021 when I fled the country, blocked a few people, really cut a lot of people out just at the end of 2021. And I also lost my job. I left my job, I quit. I didn't lose it, they wanted me to stay. But by going to Europe, going to the Czech Republic, getting my own little apartment in Český Krumlov, and even then getting that cheap flight from Prague to Istanbul, and spending a week with an ENFP and her autistic cat. I remember I started sleeping really well at exactly that time. And even then, obviously, I returned to Melbourne and there were a lot of unsettled issues with some people with bad juju. But either way, I think I've just reached a point where I've got all these really nice people that I see on a consistent basis. And I think I might just wrap this video up because I'm a bit concerned how many times I've used the term juju in this video, and I don't want to spread bad juju by doing so. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you an INFP? Are you a non-INFP? How do you sleep at night? Do you feel like sleeping well at night means that you're a good person? I don't think that's necessarily the case at all. And I think a lot of people who can't sleep at night, it's not necessarily that they're a bad person. It's more sometimes that they've got bad people around them or they're surrounded by bad juju. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you next time.
How do I sleep at night as an INFP? How do I live with myself as an INFP? Do I beg for forgiveness? Do I get on my knees? Do I tell C.S. Joseph